Good morning. It's the 5th of May. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Steve O'Hare. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Joe.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good. Did you watch football yesterday?
I did, yes. Man City smashed the living daylights out of them, didn't they?
Yeah, they fell to bits again, didn't they, PSG?
Yeah,
Lost their
yeah.
heads. What about the
Yeah,
snow on the
definitely lost
pitch?
it.
That was more concerning.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I don't know. Apparently, there's more snow forecast today in higher ground. Not what we want to be
Wow,
seeing in May in the UK.
that's a bit weird. Lex Luthor sort of like playing about with the weather.
Yeah, quite possibly. Okay,
Yeah.
so fun and games yesterday. A bit of a tech sell-off it was the order of the day last night. We saw megacaps falling and dragging down the wider market as cyclical sectors like industrials and financials went in the other direction. This was prompted by US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who ruffled the market with comments that most economists see as self-evident that interest rates will likely have to rise as government spending ramps up and economic growth accelerates. So she prompted a few fears, and we did see quite a decent looking sell off. Obviously, we'll come onto the chart shortly to see what sort of impact that sell off actually had and whether or not it's just a minor dip or something a little bit more sinister. Elsewhere, in terms of COVID and in terms of movement of people, we've got the tourism ministers from the G20 countries throwing their weight behind a vaccine passport as a way to revive the travel industry with documents to show when a person has been fully vaccinated and obviously tested negative for COVID-19. So some progress on that front, which I think we'll all be happy with. And what else have we seen? Oh, cryptocurrencies had a bit of a bath yesterday as well, which I guess we'll talk about. Um, Ethereum, though, has been testing its highs, so that's been sort of bucking the trend. Maybe we'll extend our coverage to that today, Steve, to have a look at
Yeah,
what's
why
going
not?
on there. And in commodities in general, oil has been rising, as too has copper. So I guess we should get stuck into the chart, Steve, because seems to be a fair amount happening on certainly on your side of things. Not
Yeah.
so exciting on the FX side, I don't think, but we'll have a look at both. So I'll throw it over to you, Steve, and you can run us through what you're seeing.
Okay, I'm doing a video on the oil this morning that we'll try and get posted out later. But yeah, this is the weekly chart, and we're retesting the where we stalled from, which is if we take it back in time, it goes back a pretty long way. This has been quite a pivotal area around about the mid 60s, just above that for WTI crude oil. That's the weekly chart. The daily chart, we can see that again, we've sort of extended higher, a really decent couple of days we've had, and price action doesn't look to be slowing down. Very much as we spoke about on the 4-hour chart, I think we said a break but higher would look to retest the 67.80 area. I can show you on here. We were talking about the double bottom, which basically creates the measured move up to here, and also if we look back here, there's a decent sort of like looking double bottom formation. We'll do this live, shall we? That would be there, that would be there, and that would take the measured move target right up to there. So yeah, really looking to target testing at the moment the intermediary resistance level at 66.41. I expect a break here. Potentially we could have a little bit of a pullback. What's the hourly chart look like? A bit overdone on the upside, a bit overextended, maybe a small pullback, but then extend higher again. So pretty positive on the oil. On the gold, we saw another retest of the $1,800 level. There seems to be a decent seller up there, which is capping price action at the moment. And on the hourly chart, we saw this evening doji star formation work really nicely. So this should lead to maybe a retest of the lower end of the trading range. At the moment, we're seeing the trading range around about these levels, really. 1763 the low, but we have poked down to 1756. So wouldn't be surprised to see another look at this. We see this sell-off A and sell off BC. So yeah, slightly negative on gold. Dollar indexes firmed a little bit from the start of the week, so that's another reason why. So we could potentially see a little bit of a sell-off in gold, but I think dips continue to be bought, so wouldn't move too far away from there. On the indices side of things, decent sell-off. Gun to head challenge, lovely from yesterday. Nailed it, thankfully, at long last. But take a look at the weekly chart on FTSE. Obviously, this is, with dollar strength, we'll see FTSE move higher. So, but we have got weekly charts. We've got indecisive looking candles, hanging man candle here, and another one forming here. But we've still got a couple of days go in the week, so there's plenty of room for more to-ing and fro-ing. But yeah, we can see yesterday's daily candle was pretty negative, but we've recaptured all of yesterday's losses to the open. Right now we're trading just below 7,000. Really, 7,040 is the yearly high, and that's what we're targeting at the moment. So although we saw the sell-off yesterday intraday, it wasn't able to be sustained, and so we can see now that we saw this really decent sell-off, and now we're getting quite a strong correction, especially in the last hour. Getting this 8 o'clock influx from the market open, and potentially that looks like it could continue into the rest of the European morning. The same with DAX, a really decent swing back. The test for DAX will be 15,080. Can it break that? If it can break that, then we could open up another move to the recent highs. On the Dow Jones, yelling, smelling. What you're talking about. We don't care if interest rates are going up. We know that you're just BSing us. So all-time highs again. That's what it's targeting in the Dow Jones. Only just trading under there at the moment. 34,253 we've got in this chart, and currently today's high 34,247. So a few pips away from the all-time highs. A different story in Nasdaq. Obviously, the tech side of things has had a proper smack, and that is struggling to recover. Just seems to take a little bit longer for the tech side of things to recover from these sell-offs. So maybe that's telling us something that we are running out of a little bit of steam on this. But if we look at, that's an hourly chart, we look a bit better on the daily chart, actually, the double top formation. So that's the little bit of a channel we have. But if we look here, we've got a high here and a high here, and that brings the neckline in here. So that gives us a measured move target on a double top formation down to here, 13,360, which we basically got down to 13,400, so not far away from the measured move target. So that played out really nicely on a daily basis. So I would, if there was a box ticking exercise, that would be box ticked. I wouldn't sort of like now think, oh, good opportunity to sell to make sure we get there. It probably has, in chart terms, achieved its target, although not quite. S&Ps again still sniffing around the all-time highs. So I think the temporary blip yesterday was temporary, and normal order is restored. Aussie 200 pushing up towards the all-time highs. We've got here, we can see what Aussie 200 has done. That was obviously pandemic last year, and coming out of the pandemic this year, we're sort of pushing higher. Australia obviously has done quite well with handling the coronavirus, and also Aussie 200 is full of the mining sector, the commodities sector. So that's, as we can see from the oil, looking pretty rosy. Gold is still sort of at elevated highs, although it's on a little bit of a downturn at the moment, but still we're looking to buy dips. So Aussie 200 loves it. That's nice to see. Nikkei is, what's Nikkei doing? It's in a bit of a channel here, so definitely one to watch. I don't like them dotted lines, Steve.
Bit of a wedge.
Full on. Yeah, potentially a
Continuation
bit of a wedge. Yeah, could be. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, I'll keep mentioning the China 50, this is the one I think which is going to lead us down, and this still remains subdued. So not a lot going on here, while everyone else seems to be bathing in the glory of the indice highs. Hang Seng head and shoulders formation looks pretty decent here. So one to watch, definitely. Left shoulder, neckline, head. Take the right shoulder there. I mean, it's downward sloping. It's a bit of a tricky one for me. I always look for the where the neckline is and look horizontal towards there, 27,533. A break below that, 27,500 for me would be a serious negative for the Hang Seng.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrencies.
Yep.
Let's have a little look, see what's going on here. So we had this in the any wedge formation in Bitcoin on the daily chart. We sold off, and we saw this these candles here, doji, bearish, almost an evening doji star, but the bearish candle wasn't quite as aggressive as we'd like to see it. But then that was followed by a shooting star, which we mentioned yesterday, and that led to the sell-off. So that's quite decent, although fighting back this morning. What you mentioned, Ethereum. Is that what
right, yeah.
Ethereum, yeah. So Ethereum daily chart, you can see how decent that's looking. Let's get a weekly chart to just see the sort of that exponential move higher. So even here on this was like a lovely, I mean, when we look at head and shoulders formations, this is going a bit of the way back. So this is what you could have won. That's a sort of head and formation shoulders that we like. We see it come down here. But since then, we seem to be in this pretty decent channel move higher, although really that channel is trading towards the top end of that channel. So really nothing else to measure it against. You know, if you start to look at Fibonacci, you can sort of like say, okay, where's the impulsive wave? Is the impulsive wave? I said, really, you'd like to think the impulsive wave starts here, but part of the bigger formation would be an impulsive wave, which showed you something like this. Something like that. So, and so wave one is what normally one of the shortest waves. Wave one or wave 5 is normally one of the shortest. Wave 3 is never the shortest in Fibonacci terms. So we expect wave 3 to be larger than wave 1, potentially. Oh, that's all going all over the place, that is. So we're already up to a similar sort of wave that we first saw by the looks of things. So that looks a really messy chart. Can I hide that?
Yeah, yeah, not your best work, I don't think.
That was completely off the cuff, and obviously thinking, I was thinking about other things as well at the time.
Is that a diamond top there?
Yeah, I was exactly what I was going to say. That looks pretty much like a diamond top. Now, a diamond top is you get these sort of formations, and we'll sort of like try and show you what it looks like. That's the sort of thing we get in a diamond top. Sort of something like that. So again, bit of a rough diamond, I'd say.
Quite rare as well, aren't they?
Yeah. So yeah, it looks. I mean, potentially. What would you say? Would you?
Isn't that also the logo of Ethereum you've just drawn there as well?
Oh my God, I love these conspiracy theories.
Let's have a look.
Is it really?
It's not far off. Yep, it's actually nailed it, Steve. Ethereum logo is a diamond top.
Oh my God. So for me, I mean, diamond tops.
There you go. Look, there it is.
Let me see. Where is it? Where is it?
On the screen.
I've lost you. Oh yeah, like it. It's forming its actual logo. That's how clever these computers are. So let's, if we sort of take it from there, like it. So diamond tops are top formations. So that is a topping formation. So although it looks sort of like quite nice, quite positive, it's not. this could lead to a decent sell-off. I'll try and work out. We'll do a little bit more work on that, and if we do get a breakout to the downside, it most likely lead to another downtrend. You know, but I mean, you can get breakups from it as well, so it's not guaranteed to break down.
No.
You know, but think about that. But yeah, it's yeah, a bit of a spooky one, that. I like that. I'll pass you over to FX.
Yes. Okay. So obviously starting off with the dollar index as usual. This is the daily chart, and yesterday we had a fairly decent day, although it was sort of contained within the session previously, which was a bit of a bearish one, but we are pushing higher. So we're trying to attempt to overcome yesterday's highs. We've had a little bit of a look, but nothing that's stuck just yet. So for me, I still think there is potential upside in dollar index in the short term, especially as we've seen you know, concerns over what's going on with interest rates in the US and Janet Yellen speaking yesterday. So sets the scene, I think, for a bit of dollar strength maybe. Flip side of that, euro dollar, that is not looking so great today. So we engulfed all of the session that we posted on the 3rd of May, and we are heading lower today. And I think potentially a bigger head and shoulders formation could be taking shape. Only potential at this stage. It needs to be getting down to these kind of levels to convince me that it's for real. But if that measured move or if the pattern completes, the measured move is down here at 110.58. So from a risk reward perspective, I'm looking to sell into strength on this at the moment on an intraday basis, and this is my ultimate target down at these sorts of levels here. So yeah, looking quite interesting, I think, on that front. Cable, pretty dull really. It's still trapped within this range, trading between 136.70 to 140.04. So I don't really see there being many opportunities on that in the very short term. So pretty much just leaving that alone. If we look at euro sterling, still waiting for that to do something. It's sort of sliding off now to the downside, having threatened to complete this inverse head and shoulders pattern. So what we may now be doing is forming this sort of complicated right shoulder potentially. Not giving up on that just yet. I think if we take out these lows here that we posted on the 19th of April, then I'd pretty much be close to giving up on that theory. But I haven't got anything open on that yet. Ideally, I'd like to see a break above this 87.19 to confirm the pattern and then start initiating longs. Elsewhere, dollar yen continues to look quite good. That's pushing higher in this uptrend. Still fancy that to target these highs that we posted back on the 31st of March at 110.96. Dollar Swiss is looking pretty good as well. Quite interested in this one. Potentially an inverse head and shoulders forming here and an upward sloping one as well. We seem to have found some support just ahead of this 61.8% fib level. Or around about the 50%, maybe you could argue, and a nice tick up in the last few sessions. So maybe a bit of upside potential towards this previous high that we saw on the 1st of April up at 94.72. So that's looking quite interesting as well. On the Aussie side of things, Aussie dollar is a bit complicated at the moment, although we did post what looks to be an engulfing candle yesterday. We're backing that up with a tiny bit of buying today. There was some support found at 76.76. I think while we're above this support level here, there is potential for more choppiness and range bound action. If we break below this level, then I can see a continuation back down to 75.31. So maybe a head and shoulders forming here. It's very speculative and very early stages, but maybe what we're seeing is this left shoulder, head, right shoulder forming here. We're in the process of forming now, and it would need to break down below these levels around here at 75.33 to confirm that, but not ruling it out. And obviously I'm a little bit bullish on dollar index at the moment, so that would support that view. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot else that I really like the look of on the FX markets. I think more action going on in other places at the minute.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at how we did yesterday on the gun to the head challenge. So we picked our markets early in the morning. We wait and see how they perform until 9 o'clock at night. And I'm pleased to say that Steve had a lovely 3R winner on FTSE. Nice 90 ticks you took out of that yesterday. The biggest winner that Oh no, we had a gold. That was you as well, wasn't it?
Probably.
Gold.
I'm shit or bust, unfortunately, guys.
Yeah.
So
Well,
be prepared for that.
that will do. And we had a small 0.87 R win on Bitcoin yesterday as well. So all in all, we did all right, just under 4R. Nice little jump in the profit and loss. Where are we overall? We're ticking higher, so hopefully we can continue that today. Have you got anything that you fancy, Steve? Or do you want
Well,
me
I
to go?
must. Yeah, you go if you're ready.
Okay. I like DAX today.
Oh, nice one.
This is the
Like it.
daily chart. So this is a really nice uptrend that the DAX had obviously been trading in since October. And we saw quite a substantial break of that yesterday on the selling that we saw. Price actions has flattened off a little bit. So we saw a breakdown below that and a break simultaneously of this trend line at the same time. So we're bouncing back today. And if you look closely, you can see we've got all these sort of wicks of these candles coming in around about 15,073. And we've pretty much nailed a retest of that today. So on the intraday charts, I'm looking to sell this today. I've
We have
drawn
a
a,
steward's inquiry actually because you said you liked it, and
did
now you're
I?
selling it. Yeah, you
When
said
did I
I
say I
like
liked it?
this. You said I
Oh,
like this.
I
I think.
like it from a short perspective.
Oh, right. Okay.
So as you can see, we've got this low over here. We've got this band of resistance, I suppose, that's formed. So I quite like the idea of selling into that today. Nice green candle to sell into as well, and a bit of strength. So let's get this done, shall we? Selling at 15,028. Stop loss. I mean, I could go above there, but that's probably not the wisest decision because it's below this band of resistance. So I'm going to go above it. 100 ticks, which means we have to look for a meteor target on the downside. So let's go for 3-1. Okay. Targeting 14,728. Stop loss 15,128. Selling at 15,028. Looking for 3-1 on the DAX today. That's my trade of the day.
Nice one.
That give you enough time, Steve?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go for a really short-term chart because I'm looking at this hourly channel that we've got in gold, and as we can see, this 18,000 level is proving a little bit of a bridge too far at the moment. We've got four times it's reacted lower from it, and this is reacted lower again, and we've got a little bit of a bearish flag forming. So I'm going to go with this, but I don't expect it to come off much. Obviously, my medium to long-term view on gold is bullish, so it's sort of going against it, which I always find very difficult to go against my sort of overall view. But I'm going to put the trade idea on around about here, getting short at 1775 in gold. I'm going to target a move down to the 1757. Let's see what we've done. 1757.11. And I'm going to have the stop at 1784.11. So just a 2-1 risk reward on this. So pretty fair one. Yeah, I just think this, obviously, this is a bearish flag. The measured move target would be down around here. And that's the previous support as well. So I'm just buying it in front of support. And the risk is if we do break above the 4 o'clock candle high, this would negate this and maybe we'll start to charge higher. So yeah, I think that's a pretty fair one today.
Okay, lovely. Right, so what we got today news-wise that's going to impact these ideas. So high impact news today, Eurozone PPI at 10 o'clock. Then we've got FOMC member Mester speaking later today. We've got crude inventories at 3:30. We've got a speech from ECB Lane at 3 o'clock. And we've got some data from the US at 3 o'clock. We've got ISM non-manufacturing PMIs for April. So a fair amount out there today to keep us interested. And obviously we've got more on the reporting side of things in the States. So we could see more impact on NASDAQ potentially. So yeah, lots to keep us busy.
Excellent. Lovely. Looking forward
Anything
to it.
else to add, Steve?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Lovely. Longer one today, 25 minutes. Let's wrap it up then. We will be back tomorrow morning.
Excellent. All right.
Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.
Bye
Bye.
bye.